The barometric pressure, or the weight of the air, at sea level on a standard day is 29.92 inches of mercury. This is an extremely old-fashioned unit, but it's what we use in the United States. The pressure reduces by about 1 inch per 1,000 feet of altitude, because as you climb, there's less air above you, exerting pressure. An altimeter works by reading the ambient pressure, say it's 24.92, and displaying the difference between that and sea level pressure. In this case, it would show 5,000 feet. The pressure at sea level isn't always 29.92 though, so the altimeter has a way to set what sea level pressure is, and then it calculates that difference instead. So if the sea level pressure rose a full inch to 30.92, the same pressure level, 24.92, being read by the altimeter, would display 6,000 feet above sea level. In this higher pressure scenario, the pressure around 1,000 feet up would actually be 29.92. This is the way altimeters are used most of the time, to find height above sea level, but occasionally it is useful to know what the actual pressure outside is. And instead of measuring this directly, like 24.92 inches of mercury, we measure it as distance above this 29.92 level. That level, which could be above or below sea level, is called the standard datum plane. If we set our altimeter's window to 29.92, we'll be reading the altitude above that plane, which is essentially telling us in a backward way what the pressure is around the airplane. Therefore, this is called pressure altitude. Pressure altitude, the actual pressure of the air surrounding the airplane, is useful for a couple reasons. First, it is air pressure that enables humans to breathe. Oxygen regulations therefore require supplemental oxygen above a certain pressure altitude, since that's what matters to the lungs. Secondly, it is used along with outside temperature to calculate the density of the air, which affects aircraft performance. This value is called density altitude and is described by answer C. Finally, it is used for assigning flight levels above 18,000 feet. Answer A, by the way, is describing a less used term called calibrated altitude. That phrase, position and installation error, is also used for calibrated airspeed, and like calibrated airspeed, the difference between indicated and calibrated altitude is usually pretty small.